SGP-35. The company behind this weapon with an extremely unusual internal design is the American startup Arc Flash Labs. The SGP-35 is an electromagnetic gun without linear magnetic tracks like similar models. Instead, the gun got several successive coils to propel the ferromagnetic projectiles. The gun is powered by a 4's Lipo battery. It's enough to shoot 50 times before reloading. The SGP-35 is designed to be used with 18-round magazines, while the rate of fire is 8.6 rounds per minute. This gun is not suitable for self-defense, though, as it was not designed to cause serious harm or have a lethal effect. For the same reason, it will not interest the military either. The target consumer of this gun are small game hunters, collectors, and people who just want to shoot in the backyard. The price of the gun is $300. WATTOZZ. This laser weapon was commissioned by the U.S. Navy and developed by Kratos Defense and Security Solutions. The $11 million contract was signed in 2010, and in 2012 the system successfully passed its first tests. It's been in service since 2014 and is still installed on U.S. destroyers. The main source of combat power is an infrared beam from a solid-state laser array, which can operate in several modes. At high power, the laser can destroy targets at low power. It can warn, disable sensors, burn engines and detonate hazardous materials. The low-power laser will blind a person, briefly neutralizing them. Compared to traditional weapons, this system has several significant advantages. First, there's no need to manufacture and then transport and dispose of ammunition for later weapons. And secondly, the cost of the shot itself is very low. Only a small amount of electricity is required for each shot. LRAD. Sometimes weapons don't need ammunition or even lasers to work. The LRAD 450XL is exactly one of those weapons. LRAD stands for Long Range Acoustic Device and was developed to contain aggressive crowds. It also demonstrates high efficiency in search and rescue missions. The manufacturer LRAD Corporation has developed a whole range of acoustic devices with different powers and ranges. The most advanced are capable of spreading voice messages and sound signals up to a distance up to 2 miles. Sound waves are sent out at an angle of 30 to 60 degrees. Because of this, the sound doesn't lose its quality as it travels through space. Even at a great distance, every word projected can be heard clearly. The system is compact, so it can easily be equipped in cars and even helicopters. WATTOZZ Electroshock Weapon. Stun guns are a popular common means of self-defense. However, they require direct contact with the attacker, which is a significant disadvantage. WATTOZZ solves this problem because it's a weapon that fires energy-loaded projectiles. It has a shooting range of as much as 33 feet. The device is designed for 2 charges, which is an obvious advantage under stressful conditions of use. Nevertheless, the gun has no lethal effect and is not even capable of causing permanent injury. It's safe for the user as it disarms the attacker by transmitting electrical impulses into the body, affecting the sensory and motor functions of the nervous system. In addition, the gun buys time by giving the user the opportunity to escape or call for help. Tests have shown that WATTOZZ work safer than other popular self-defense weapons, such as pepper spray. It doesn't require compressed gas or gunpowder. You just have to charge it on time. An additional advantage is the built-in HD camera, which activates after the weapon is fired. Mk4 Coil Gun. Let's go back to coil guns and talk about a model that we cannot ignore. It stands out because it was made by one person and by hand from 3D printed parts. In addition, its creator shared detailed instructions on how to assemble a similar weapon yourself, and don't let its homemade nature fool you. This weapon can easily break a glass bottle or penetrate a thin sheet of metal. Its rate of fire ranges from 780 to 900 rounds per minute, depending on the settings. The muzzle velocity is 50 feet per second. The gun operates directly from batteries, which has reduced the time between shots. Although this limited the maximum power, it's hardly a critical disadvantage. After all, this is just another amateur weapon designed solely for entertainment. Forward Defense Munitions L5. When this exotic rifle was first introduced in 2018, it was hard to find anyone who wasn't surprised by it. First, it is a 5-barreled rifle with a volley fire mode. Second, it eliminates the need to handle casings. The developer placed the 5 separate primers, powdered charges and projectiles in a metal block. Therefore, instead of a spent cartridge case, the entire block is removed from the rifle at once. According to the developers, this makes the reloading process much faster and easier. Finally, the last feature is the minimum number of moving parts. Tests have shown that the L5 moves 60 times less than traditional weapons. This simplifies aiming and increases the reliability and durability of the weapon. Also, this electric rifle is extremely energy efficient. A single charge lasts an average of 150 rounds. Ziggy Zee's RAILGUN. Let's go to the UK to see another unusual weapon. Surprisingly, there's only one enthusiast behind this powerful huge gun. Ziggy Zee assembled a mobile railgun that weighs 250 pounds with his own hands. In the UK, any weapon is considered a firearm if it has a firing power of more than 8 joules. This railgun has a power of 270 joules. The engineer had to connect 560 microfarad capacitors to power it. They are charged by a 400 volts car battery, so the capacitor block it is attached to the car. The gun works like this. When you press the trigger, the aluminum projectile is thrown onto the copper rails by a stream of compressed carbon dioxide gas. At this point its speed reaches 50 miles per hour. Because the high temperature makes the aluminum begin to melt, the projectile slides very easily. Finally, the electricity flowing through the rails forms a pulse which produces the shot. Interestingly, it took Ziggy Zee 2 years to purchase the capacitors alone. He only spent $600 on them, although if he bought them at the retail price, he would have paid about $50,000. The Peacemaker Net Gun. The last gun we'll talk about today is another non-lethal weapon. It uses a high-pressure air charge to fire a net. As it flies through the air, it unfolds and can hold back both humans and animals. As you might guess, this device is popular with animal control services. Also, these security services can benefit from it when detaining suspects. The manufacturer offers 3 different sizes: 6 by 6 feet, 8 by 8 feet, and 10 by 10 feet. The first is suitable for birds and rodents. The second size is ideal for pets, and finally, the largest net can even hold back a deer, a pig, or a calf.